Okay, so one thing I had to do on this guitar was I made the ultra wise decision at the last minute to update some of the electronics on this guitar. And um, what I ended up getting was a wafer switch, some full size pots, and a tone that has push pull. Um, so I'll be able to activate the bridge and neck pickup together, and as well as all three pickups together with that. However, I did have a cutout already for to accommodate the switch, but these larger pots and the push pull meant that I had to Dremel out some more of this cavity. So it was actually here, this level, across this way. And I had to take that down almost as deep as the switch, but I didn't have to go quite so deep. Then I actually put some True Oil on the bare wood here, a few coats, let that dry, and had to re-shield that. I also took the shielding out of the jack cavity as I didn't want to have any problems. The other thing I had to do was I put a pure tone jack on this output jack plate. And in order to get that to fit in there, I had to use some of the diamond tips on my Dremel and widen this, the hole for the jack. I can never get these pure tones to fit through these Stratocaster boat jacks. So I had to Dremel that out a little bit to get that to fit. So Dremel's been coming in pretty handy lately. Actually, something that I did was I upgraded my Dremel and I bought this guy, which you can plug in. I was finding with my other Dremel, it was going through my battery like lickety split, and I kept having to charge it and wait for it to be done charging before I could start using it again. So this one has a variable speed on it, a little dial here on the back to increase the speed, which is kind of nice. And it's plug-in, so no more having to charge. Plus the tip, the collet here was a little bit bigger than the battery charged one I had. And I have gotten some routing bits that wouldn't fit my old one, but I was actually able to get them to fit in the new one, and I was able to use that to help get that cavity out a little bit faster. This whole thing with the routing bits and sanding and just trying to testing it, it all took about an hour to get all of that out. Whereas before, with the old Dremel that I had, to do something like this in my other guitar took me about 3 hours. So I did almost twice as much surface area all the way down in about a third of the time. So that was helpful. What else? Shielded, True Oil. The neck is finished. So I sanded down the headstock on the neck and used about 4 coats of True Oil to get out any discoloration. Put the logo on and then installed the tuners and string trees. So the neck is ready to go. Now I have to finish wiring this up. So I'm going to try and get a good shot of, hopefully I can, without getting in the way too much. So I just need to wire these pickups to this switch and the grounds to the volume pot is here. And then I'll put this in the guitar and wire up the output jack and the ground wire. And then that should be done with that. Then I just have to get the neck on and all that stuff. So on this switch, I have a diagram here, came with it, showing how to hook it up. And the neck pickup needs to be on this lug right here, the middle pickup on this lug, and the bridge pickup on this lug. So I've got my bridge pickup here, middle is the yellow, and neck is the white. So the white will actually be attached with that. So I've heated up my soldering iron to 700 degrees, and I don't believe these wires aren't pre-tinned, so I'm going to tin those. So I've got the neck pickup, which is white, and I'm going to put this here. So I'm just going to kind of, I don't have to worry so much about the switch. I think it's more the pots that you have to be kind of quick with, but, oh, I disconnected that. That's okay. We'll put that in there and reconnect that one. Sorry, I'm trying to make this so you can see it too. If I can get that on there, that's pretty good. All right. And then I need to do the middle pickup. Right here, I'm just going to put that through this lug. And that's on. And lastly, solder on there. And then that is sticking through. All right, those all seem to be connected pretty nice. That one to stick. Do a little more solder. And get that one to stick, and that's all there is to that. So maybe not the cleanest little joint there. Oh. But that should get the job done. The key thing is to make sure that you're not hanging out on the pots too long, soldering things too long on there, because that heat will damage the pot if you leave it on there too long. So now I'm going to get everything in the guitar and we'll go from there. Just kind of pre-tin these holes a little bit. Okay, so I should just be able to slip these through here. Working at a weird angle. Come on through. There we go. Just slip through there. I think that should be on there. Feels pretty tight. I'm just screwing this down temporarily. Now I've got a pretty good glob of solder already there, so I shouldn't need to put any more down. Let's heat that up some. Stick that on there. That looks like that's in there nice. Okay, now we need a cable. Uh-oh. I'm not hearing anything. I have to redo that one. Definitely hear the middle. Hear the bridge. I don't hear the neck. That's concerning, so I need to go back and look. So my neck connection is off. Okay, so let's remove it. And actually, I'm going to strip that a little more. Okay. Try it again. Did that change anything? Yep. Okay, so now I have the neck and middle, middle and bridge. Good. And bridge. Good. Now, with this up, neck and bridge, and that position should be all three, I think. Yeah. That's just middle. Oh. Middle neck. Middle neck. Neck. Interesting. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. That's why you don't want to screw everything down before you test it, because then I would just have to come right back and redo all of that. All right, so I'm going to screw this back on and then we should be good. Okay, I am almost done. Oh man, this has been a not an incredibly difficult project. It's one that's been hard to figure out how I'm going to do it as I've been going along. But I figured it all out, at least to kind of match my original vision. Really hasn't been much that I've done to this guitar other than install things. So we did have to modify the body a little bit. We did have to modify the holes for the pickguard. New jack, new pots with the push-pull, new switch. Not quite new pickups. I mean, these are new to this guitar, but they are T's ST1 pickups, and this was a T's ST1. They're just from a different guitar, which is fine. New tuners, new string trees, and just the cosmetic modifications. Jayce Allan doing this pickguard was the first big step. Getting the Woodburn name on the neck, courtesy of Neck Illusions, as well as courtesy of Neck Illusions, the logo here. I mean, all I did was design this stuff, or, you know, kind of give an idea of what I wanted and had it done and then put it on. But it's really, really close to my original vision. So one of the last things I have to do is put on the neck, which I'm going to do right now. However, before I do it, I want to show you what I had done on the neck. My original plan was to have logos of Fretnot, who I won the guitar from, Tees, who made the guitar, Jayce Allan, who did this part, and myself on the neck plate. Due to some, because of cost really, and also because of the size, I decided not to do Fretnot. Their logo was a little bit too complicated. And Tees I elected not to do because their logo was also a little bit too large and a little bit too complicated for what I was. The Tees logo that I was going to do was actually the new Tees logo, which is kind of a big circle with Tees in the middle. So what I did have done was I had Jayce Allan's name, his logo from his channel, and my logo, Tone Yeager, from my channel, put on the back of this neck plate. Got this done at a trophy shop. And I thought it looked a lot better with just the two on there. It would have been better with just one, but since I said I was going to put four on, I figured, well, let's just do two. Oh, and you can see the camera in it. It's so shiny. Anyway, that's how that came out, which was pretty good. So let me go ahead and flip this guy over. I haven't had this guitar in one piece for a long time. Oh, that's satisfying. And we are a one-piece guitar again. And there we go. Oh, and I do like those tuners on there. And that headstock came out pretty nice, I gotta say. I was pretty pleased with that. So there's the guitar. Now I only have to restring it. I've done all the polishing, fret leveling. Not that there was any fret leveling, but I checked everything. I got to get the strings on. Check the intonation, and all the levels. Do the train. Make sure everything is good to go. And then I will be done and we can do a little playthrough on this guitar. I might have to wait a day or two to finish this up because I just had a customer bring me 2 guitars to look at. And my philosophy is that customers' guitars come first and my projects come second. So, but I was right in the middle of this when he came over, so I'm justified still working on it. Yeah, super happy. Oh man, I feel like I've had this in my mind for months. And to have it this close to being all the way finished is a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And I got to say, it's pretty much exactly what I had in mind from the beginning. Love that logo up there, actually. It's really nice. See what I think, and that might be, at least until this sells, the last video on this guitar. It's kind of sad. Kind of sad, but I knew it would always come to that. Anyway, that's it.